Just ramping up. We're so close to champs at this point. Maybe something wild's gonna happen. I can smell it. I'm fired up.
All sport, all star, all pro.
Scraps is lighting up with his twin brother Wuskin.
Lovely shots from Scraps.
What an individual play. It's the Octane Clinic.
Players, it looks like they're going to win them the round, or is it Octane? Octane.
And they're pushing down bottom. He finds two.
And it's Slasher. And suddenly the sweep comes in from OpTic. A clean 5-man wipe.
The likes of the Mutineers, and the shots are there from Skies. A lovely two from him. This is disgusting.
What will next home series bring?
See, my team, we never settle. Keep that pedal to the metal till we get that golden medal.
You gotta find a way to deal with Kismet. He's too good right now. He's too good.
Yeah, he is nasty.
Dawn from Vivid. What a shot that was on a Methods. Gets it done in the end. Vivid's still alive. What a run this is from the young man.
Attach lights it up.
You can't kill him and he's still alive.
Subliners just dominate this final.
Shotzi, dude's cracked out. He's just gonna be flying as fast as possible.
Shotzi goes massive.
This guy continues to get better, doesn't he?
We've got another event. There's still a chance to get points, but it's getting very close. We're really coming towards the end of the season.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Call of Duty League. We are here in the beautiful city of London for the London Royal Ravens home series. Take a look at that view. Isn't it gorgeous? I wish I could say that was from my current window, but it's not. I'm seeing a lovely grey and dull day outside at the moment. But of course we are joined by two beautiful casters who are going to make up for the weather in front of me. We're joined by Miles and Chance to talk about this incredible weekend that we have going forward for us. So Miles, how are we feeling today, bro?
Feeling good, feeling ready. Very, very excited for some Call of Duty. Obviously my heart is broken, the fact that we're not actually in London able to enjoy it with the crazy fans there. But alas, that's just the way the world is. Next year will hopefully be very, very different. But nonetheless, we've got a wicked day to get through. Very, very good weekend of Call of Duty ahead of us.
We do indeed. Chance, are you missing out on London? Did you enjoy London?
Yeah, London's great. I miss it. I wish we were there. But I will say, like, the level of competition we have at the event, the spiciness of where everybody's falling in, like the CDL Points standings and all of that, I think the competition might make it up for just enough so I can get by.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, we got some incredible competition today because we do have in the midst our New York Subliners team. They shocked us last week where they took home their home series final in such a dominant fashion against Chicago Huntsmen. Miles, were you expecting obviously the close games, but then to win 3-0 over this Huntsman roster? My God, man, how did that happen?
I didn't expect them to pick up, 9 maps in a row without dropping them. I mean, New York Subliners really came out and absolutely devastated their own home series. The second team to win their own, which was wonderful to see. And again, just interested to see if they can keep this one going. Going back to back would be incredible for them. Again, the recent meta change seems to have fit the squad very, very well. But again, the competition here is very, very serious. The likes of Dallas and Florida in the mix. This is going to be one hell of a weekend.
It really is. I mean, yo, Tommy, we did it. Couldn't be more prominent right now with the New York Subliners. Chance, you're a man of numbers. We love to see some stats across the board. What's sticking out to you here from the Subliners roster?
The number that's most important to me is the CDL points that the Subliners were able to get. The 50 points they got for the win. Now they are guaranteed top 8. They're not going to have to start in the losers bracket at champs. And yes, they still want to go for that higher seed or make sure they at least stay in that 5th spot. But it's just stress relief. You have the fear of not being in losers. You got a couple guys that get their first chip, not just Temp, but also Mac, and their coach and Revan also get his first win as well. So it's stress relief. It is a celebratory time for the New York Subliners. Of course, though, that only lasts for a few days because, well, now it's back to business.
It is. It's back to the sticks. Try and earn yourselves another one, fellas. But we've got to talk about the Kings of June. We've had the Kings from last weekend, but Florida Mutineers, they have been so good as of recent. Can they keep it up? That is the question. We will be finding out this weekend. Miles, what do you make of this Mutineers roster and how they've been performing as of recent?
The Mutineers have gone from strength to strength to strength. I mean, honestly, they've been remarkable from start to finish, over the last of their turnaround. However, now with the meta change, this is where I start to doubt, if they can keep it going. We've talked about this to no end. Very, very few teams are able to do back-to-back-to-backs. Florida with the opportunity to do it here, maybe. But again, with the recent meta change, do they have a strong enough third AR presence? Are they going to be able to compete with a squad like Dallas, who perceptively may have the best, 3 AR squad in this tournament potentially? It's going to be very, very difficult. And I have a bit of a question mark over the Florida Mutineers right now. No doubt they'll still be strong, but will they be as good as we saw them recently? Well, that's the question.
That is the question. And talking about questions, we've got some hypothetical ones for you today, of course. If the season ended today, this is what it would look like. This is the champs breakdown currently as it stands. Our teams right now have locked in top 4. We've got Atlanta, we've got Chicago, Florida, and Dallas. And any of those guys can place 1st to 4th. But then we've got New York, Minnesota, London, and OpTic Gaming with Seattle. They can actually all hit top 6. And then, of course, our top 8 right now, Paris, Toronto, LAG, they can still do this. It's one of those things where it's going to chop and change. Let's see where teams are at the moment. Some changes have happened. The meta, of course. This could mean a lot to some of these teams to try and play to their strengths. So no one is out of the race for higher seeds yet. And the race is on. This is exactly what they're gunning for here. We got an incredible amount of money on the line. And so in collaboration with our teams and players, we've actually recently redistributed the prize pool. So the updated payout structure better rewards teams that perform well during the playoffs while assigning less prize money for the final matches. So the overall prize payout of 4.6 mil remains the same, but this is actually how it breaks down now. So the structure has changed a little bit. Gents, what are we thinking of this structure? This is a little bit more fair, isn't it, Miles?
Which, I like the idea that you're going to get a lot for placing well during playoffs. It's going to be one of the most stressful and challenging tournaments Call of Duty players are going to be facing for a long time. So yeah, I'm all for the change.
Absolutely. We've got CDL Points presented by Game Fuel on the board, and talking about the change, these can also change with a flick of a switch this weekend. Chance, talk to me about some of these teams that you think could still have a go at maybe climbing that leaderboard a little bit, and it's actually imperative for them to do so.
Again, as you pointed out, top 4, solidified top 4. The order might change, but it's a minor variance. Subliners are the guaranteed top 8. But after that, it is chaos, and OpTic Gaming is the focal point of it all, right? They got the 2 tournaments left this week and next week, and they are tied with 2 other teams at 70 points. They're trying to keep 4 teams beneath them and make sure no one passes them. And, of course, they're trying to work their way up if at all possible. They got Draza on the team now. They got Hollow on the team. So they've made adjustments. They're the team that's tied with everybody else. That's who I'm paying extra special attention to this weekend, because they might be able to decide what happens with the standings. If they perform well enough, they get that guarantee. If they drop the ball, that's when the teams can start to catch up and make those changes.
Hey, it's the rookie trend, man. It's been working for a lot of our teams this season, so hopefully it can work for them too. We got our bracket right now for you guys on the board. This is exactly what's going down this weekend. Royal Ravens taking on Surge today. OpTic Gaming versus Mutineers. Then we got Legion in the midst with Dallas Empire, and then Subliners taking on LAG. Looking forward to this, actually, guys. This is going to be pretty incredible. We've got our Game Fuel marquee match with London and Seattle, of course, so you don't want to miss that one. And then starting the day off, we've got Dallas Empire taking on Legion for today. This is our US Army schedule for you guys. I've got to say, Dallas and Legion, big first matchup for Paris. Couldn't have been thrown in a deeper end, if you ask me, for Paris Legion. Yes, they have, kind of gained a little tiny bit more momentum when they did beat LAG. It wasn't really enough for me to be honestly very comfortable with them in a big dog matchup like this with Dallas Empire. So Dallas, 50% of their hard points actually right now in the win percentage. Chance, talk to me a little bit about that. Is Dallas going to have to bring their respawns up to the likes of New York Subliners, for example, Florida Mutineers, or are we going to be seeing a little bit more dominance coming from Empire?
Well, in fairness to their hardpoint record, right, they have played a ridiculous cast of competition the entire year. So I think that's part of it, but that's sort of the indication of the biggest weakness of the team is that map 1 for anyone that is going to be playing against them. It's impertinent to get off to a hot start, especially for a team like Paris, right? If Paris's best game mode is S&D, well, Empire is one of the best teams in the world at the mode, so it's not going to be easy for the map 2 and map 5. That means the map 1 and map 4, you got to take full advantage.
For sure. Well, Chance, I got you talking about Dallas. Let's talk about their Game Fuel keys to victory here. How are these guys going to do in this new meta, do you think?
It'd be great. They've been one of the most consistent teams all year. It's every single tournament they've at the very least made it to like the semifinals matches. They never get sort of bullied out earlier. So I think anything we throw at them over the course of the year, they're going to be successful at it. And then the same thing, like, okay, an extra AR, so what? Hook, like, he's not going to be a god with every gun you give him, or Shotzi or Illy. Like, any guys on this team can run any weapon they want, and they're going to be able to thrive. I have zero fear and zero concerns about this team's success.
Okay, well, Miles, games your keys to victory for Paris Legion. They've had a go on the meta, but what do they have to do to step it up against Dallas?
I mean, as far as the game fuel keys go, I mean, every player needs to step it up individually. If the New York home series an overall 0.92 in the KD department, I mean, that's low. Admittedly, they had some very difficult matches. At the end of the day, though, this is going to be one of the toughest opponents they will face all year, and in their current form, it's a little bit of a worry. Still, for Paris, if they can put the practice they received there at the New York Subliners home series, put the practice they've had from the last week into effect. I saw a nice tweet from Kismet today. He's looking confident. He's ready to prove the haters wrong. And if there's one thing we know to look out for, it's a Kismet who's got something to prove to the fans. The man wears his heart on his sleeve, and I'm very, very excited to see just what Paris can bring today. It's not an easy matchup. They're certainly getting trialed hard here by Dallas Empire, but the chances for something to happen, I think, are there.
I think so too. Hopefully going to be a good match. We'll have to wait and see. Let's talk about our predictions right now. We got Xperia by Sony predictions. Miles, I'm talking to you first, pal. What are you thinking for this one?
Well, I think something may be there for the Paris Legion. I think if you look at, the way the meta sits now, I think Dallas Empire should be winning this in an 0-3 fashion. They should get this one done. It should be them from start to finish. The maps may be close, but I think it's going to be a clean sweep from the get-go. If it's not, I'll be very, very surprised. And again, props to Paris. But the way things sit right now, I just think it's going to be squeaky clean. Long live the Empire.
Squeaky clean. Are we up there with the cleaning products there, Chance? Are you thinking the same as Miles?
Yeah, I mean, squeaky clean 3-0. It's the comfortable prediction. I will say, though, like, last week we saw a ton of upsets, a ton of things that were completely unexpected, including Paris, like, beating Guerrillas at that point. It was least unexpected for me, so I'm like 90-some-odd% sure that Dallas are going to get this win fairly comfortably, but I've been surprised quite a bit this entire year, so you never know what's going to happen until you see it.
I can agree more, man. I think upsets are definitely, on the horizon and could be done. It's just about how a team is playing currently. If we've seen the form of our Paris Legion right at the beginning of the season, this could be a totally different game. But I'm also going to have to go 3-0 to Dallas. They're just too strong. And I think, like you said, Miles, earlier, the meta is going to work for them for sure. So let's get into this game, guys. I want to know exactly what happens in this. So Chance, Miles, please, let's get going with our first game of the London Royal Ravens home series.
Very, very excited to get into this one, Lottie. Again, I think if you're a betting man, you have to be leaning towards Dallas. Again, the form throughout the entire year has been exceptional. Paris. Again, the form throughout the entire year has been exceptional. Paris. It's been a little bit of everything, man. It really has. And Chance, I don't know about you, but when I think about that Paris Legion squad, I think they began with a wonderful explosive start to the Call of Duty League. Obviously, since the transition into the COVID era of COD, things haven't quite been the same for them. They've been a little stagnant, a little stale. But is this the turnaround point the Paris Legion need?
I will need, yes, absolutely, that they're going to get. Very different question where I'm not quite so confident. But, I mean, again, it's one of those things that Call of Duty, whoever plays best on any given day, that has been a theme we've been running with for years. You get it nice early in the morning. You're playing Dallas, hardpoint's their weakest game mode. We're going to Romaza where, like, Dallas have been fine, but maybe not the most impressive thing in the world. So, like, if Paris gets off to a hot start, if they're able to secure this first Romaza win, then boom, I'm sold they can pull off the upset. But if Dallas come out and just start slapping them around, then in my mind, that might just be the early end for the team.
Well, here we go. The London Royal Ravens home series is now officially underway. And right we go into that first hard point. Illy going to be running one of the M4s now for the Dallas Empire as he makes his way forward. Shots are there. Huke's already managed to get themselves into that hard point. It's Kismet trying to clean out the sidelines here of the Dallas Empire front line. Shocks is going to find one from upstairs. This is a great power position to be in. Now armed with an M4. And again, that assault rifle will be the weapon of the day. Until something happens in patches, but we'll wait for that one. Clay answering right back, but M4 of his own cleans up that top spot. Hugh's going to answer the front lines, and now Dallas Empire, a couple of kills going their way. Paris Legion yet to really get on the hard point. They've got one more shot at this hard point before they have to take a bit of a rotation and head on towards the next, which is in bottom left.
And this is already about the most perfect hill that you could possibly see on it, right? Like, we watched Shox, he was able to get up top construction, get behind enemy lines, maybe cause a little bit of confusion. What happens? Ends up getting gunned by Clayster. Kismet got behind enemy lines, he gets gunned, taken care of, and already Illy on a 6 spree. The kill feed has been lit up in 59 seconds on P1. That is a perfect hill, and I mean literally perfect. I don't think you can actually get 60. I'm pretty sure it takes us roll over. This is literally perfect gameplay from the Empire.
Empire still holding this line very, very well, and again, keep an eye out for those rotations. This is when a team moves towards the next hard point ahead of it appearing. Kismet trying to find something through the front line. Shox is now going to have a go from the side. There's a nice kill on a Hugh. Can he slow down the push from Illy? No, he can't. Oh, Clay's going to find that one as Luca now trying to slowly but surely make his way in. But I mean, Paris Legion have been stunned so far. This is a very, very dramatic scoreline, and it is only as Paris have been put not only on the back foot, but at this point in time, I mean, I'm not even sure if it's the ropes or they're in the crowd. This first hardpoint chance, this is disgusting.
This is 5 broken controllers from Paris. They are outslayed by 25-ish kills right now. That would be an absurd stat line if it were the end of the game. It is 116, 17, whatever it's going to be. That is, again, about 2 perfect kills back-to-back, and I mean, like, damn near perfect. Paris, though, hey, they got on the board. This is where the comeback starts, right?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, this is definitely where the comeback could start. I mean, the only concern on a map like Ramaza, when we think of what hardpoint is going to be after this one, is the construction site on the left, so we're going to see the break from Dallas through the front. But the positioning right now from Dallas, they're in a very good spot to keep Paris trapped on that right-hand side of the map. So you can let Paris have 30, maybe 40 seconds of this hardpoint time, which is good. But at this point, Paris are trapped. They've got to fight their way out of this hardpoint and try to get themselves over to the next one, where Dallas are arguably looking at another 50, maybe 60 out of that as well. So the trap is set, and this is truly clinical hardpoint from the Dallas Empire.
I mean, I feel like we're to the point of like a domination game almost, where we just have to like find things to talk about because the action is just like so destructive. Like, if you were paying attention to the kill feed, Hook, Shotzi, and Illy have basically been trading out weapons, whether or not they're rocking the MP5 or M4, because they keep picking it up off the ground. And I swear all 3 of those players with each weapon have outslayed Paris just like straight up. Like, Hook with an MP5, then Hook with an M4 in the same game is getting more kills than every single player on Paris. It is ridiculous. 13-4, 11-4. They are plus, I don't know, 30, 35 kills, up 120 points. Maybe Paris gets a little bit of love over towards construction, but this, I mean, hopeless, devastating. I don't know if you got a thesaurus nearby to find some new synonyms, but it is not a good look so far.
So far, this truly is obliteration from Dallas Empire. We have not seen a hardpoint like this on Ramaza, I think, in the entirety of the Call of Duty League. Still, Paris managing to get themselves on the point for now. Here comes Dallas on the break, trying to find the entry kills. Zed and Denz will hold the line down. Clayster finds one on the hop, skip, and a jump into the final 10 seconds of this hardpoint. Over to Ruins we go now. Illy's going to do what he can to make his way forward. However, Paris Legion in a position to find this hardpoint time. Dallas, arguably one of the best teams in the world, and certainly putting on a show for us right now. Hardpoint flips open. Paris making their way into the scoreboard still. 40 seconds of climbing. Illy trying to find this entry. If he can catch Luca up and over the top, he'll need to go. Will he mount it? Will he mantle over the top? There it is, and he's not going to get it. Luca wins the fight. The first of many kills now, hopefully for Paris Legion, as they try to maintain this hardpoint control.
Well, that might be the first, but now you got a guy like Hoop coming in to try to make some mess happen, or maybe Illy on the uptake is going to be able to make the swing, but maybe a little bit of love, a little bit of life coming out of the Paris Legion. But then you look at the kill feed, and it's all gone. You got Empire right back inside, and then maybe Paris fighting for those 20 seconds will be able to get some of that scrap time, but then, of course, the positioning, the setup for the rotation. You got Claire, he's on point. He's got the trap going, and frankly, as long as Clay can stay alive, which doesn't last very long, Paris is going to have problems. But now Kismet, the front man, leading the charge.
Yeah, I love that. We're watching that rotation now take place as he's trying to find his way into a position to just apply some pressure as we go back into another set of hardpoints, back over towards the bridge, and Kismet has managed to actually infiltrate this line. It's going to be Shotzi who's trying to sniff him out and take care of him. No one quite in the hardpoint time there. Kismet can hear these footsteps. Identifies Shotzi. Tags go through. MP5 not ideal at that range, but Kismet finds a nice 2. There's a third to be had here against Clayster, but no, just at the top of the ladder too quick. The gun is up. He's ready to find those kills. Paris have not managed to get any more players too close to that hard point. Not an easy hard point to get up to. Clayster's in an ideal spot right now to do a lot of damage. Lovely kills once again from Kismet. He finds those crucial kills time and time again. Can he keep Paris Legion in this one? Can they maintain the pressure? Not when Illy's picking up kills like this. 20 seconds remaining, and I'd be scarce to say they're probably all going to go the way of Dallas.
You got 4 players on the side of the Empire that have 20 plus kills right now. You only have 3 players on Paris that have managed to surpass 10, or at least like be tied at 10. Again, obviously, it's not like the analysis is complicated. You look at the scoreboard, and it is just pure and utter obliteration. Like, we're seeing a couple nice plays actually come out from Paris, right? Like last till Kismet goes around. Now you got a couple players trying to fight through construction to make the break, but they are having to fight for tooth and nail just to get like a couple seconds to scrap. Dallas is taking it to him, and Clayster right now is the man leading the charge at 24-8. While of course Crimsix, he's just got his feet up.
Feet up indeed. 24-8. Clayster, you can see he's rocking the Champs Pack signatures on his own weapon, his very own signature on his own M4, as he puts up a fantastic stat line. 30 seconds remaining in his second hard point. And Paris Legion, there's not much analysis to be found here. The defensive holds from Dallas Empire have been absolutely perfect. Paris have been absolutely riddled with bullets, knives, you name it. This is, without a shadow of a doubt, Chance, one of the most disgusting hard points we have ever seen. It is a matter of points now for the win, and Paris Legion have been absolutely slaughtered on Ramaza.
Okay, so next series up, we got like, oh my god, I don't even know, 250 to 73. I think that is the second best / worst hardpoint performance we have seen from any team this year. I think that's about as good as it gets. I mean, we literally started out with Empire playing perfectly, got 59 seconds on the first hill, won the rotation. They were up 17 to 0 after the first 2 hills. The least amount of kills on the Empire was 14 by the hands of Crimsix. The most on the side of Paris was Zed with 15. That's plus 40, 45 kills, something completely absurd. That's just tough. Like, I can't imagine being Paris right now. I don't know what you're saying, comms. Like, hey, let's bounce back, like map number 2. Like, I'm demoralized watching that. I can't imagine what that was like to play.
Yeah, that was a real tough one. And the AR gunfights won. You can really see a massive disparity in the stats there from these players. Den's not having a great one. 9 and 20. 9 and 22 for Luca as well. These are the assault rifles of Paris Legion being absolutely cut down by the might of the Dallas Empire. What did we just watch, Chance? That was big. If that's a sign of things to come for Dallas in this new world, I don't know where this all changes. So have a quick look at the quick scope now, brought to you by the US Air Force. And wow, I've got nothing. I know Rambo Ray is grinning like a lunatic somewhere in the world right now, probably Dallas, but wow.
I mean, Ray's probably all serious. Probably just winning the comms. They're just like, nice map 1. Like, map 2, let's like talk over the strats, just like business as usual. Maybe the comms, like, I imagine Clay was giggling like crazy. It was pretty absurd, and I think that answers the question of like, how might Dallas fare in like the meta change? It's tough to kind of analyze because it's not like Dallas was pressured in the slightest, but like you had Illy, Shotzi, and Hook all just fluctuating consistently between the M4 and MP5, and they were just like on point with both of them. It didn't make a difference, and I couldn't even tell if they were just making swaps hill to hill and they were being that technical with it, or they just kept running out of ammo in their primary and had to go and pick up guns off the ground. It was too tough to watch to be able to appropriately evaluate the team, but obviously things right now are good.
Well, you saw the maps and most brought to you by the US Air Force there just a moment ago. We're going to be going to a gun runner, search and destroy, coming up next. Haven't hiccuped on broadcast in my life. That's the first for me. But wow, what an opening map. I am actually shocked. I'm stunned. However, one player who probably wasn't too stunned by that performance, Hugh, one of the players we touched upon. Chance, you said give him an MP5, give him the AR, whatever it may be. He's going to look like a young god, and Hugh really was the nuke. He has been incredible thus far. But, you know, the Modern Warfare season was a chance for Hugh to turn things around. He's been a little bit hit and miss though so far. Again, a young prodigy who so many had touted as one of the greatest players in the world. He's really coming into his own here in this Dallas Empire roster, Chance.
And I think he's like quietly sort of making like a run for like MVP potentially. Like I haven't heard anyone really mention his name at all, but when I went back to look at the stats, like in my head I was expecting like Shotzi to be the guy because he's gotten all the love, and rightfully so to a certain degree, but like Hook is like a little bit more aggressive, gets a couple more kills, like puts in a little bit more work, and I genuinely think it might turn into a situation where like Hook has just been not completely overlooked because like everyone knows what the man can do, but I think we've just been so distracted with everything going on that like we have almost taken a break from like witnessing the greatness of this young man. So maybe there's a small example of it right there, but he is absolutely someone that you have to be very fearful of if you ever see him on the map.
Well, Hook, there it is. I remember, I think you told me once you came across Hook in a warm-up game, I think for Blackout After Dark last year, and you were like, I've never been killed so quickly and so efficiently before.
Actually, yeah, I do remember that. I think that was one of those situations where like it's, you know, you spawn with like a pistol in the pregame, load in lobby, whatever it was, and it was like walk up behind a player, start shooting the back, and I'm like, this is the freest kill of all time. And then I mean, it felt like I got sniped by a pistol with how fast like the trigger finger was. So yeah, I have Hook nightmares. It does happen. But I will say, I did kill him in one of the games, and that's one of my proudest Call of Duty accomplishments. I actually killed Hook, even though I got like a negative 20 KD against him.
Scary times. Here we go now to the Search and Destroy. Paris Legion. This is a real test now of their mental fortitude. Can they bounce back after what was, without a shadow of a doubt, most disgusting, revolting hardpoints? And so far, Dens looking to right the wrongs of that first map and an early kill. Going the way of Paris. Bomb in their hands. They make their way forward. Gun runner, not an easy one. A solid pick here from either side. Great crossfire coming through from those assaults. We saw them, Clayster and Crim6 atop of the trains. Clearly through the pipes. Tags are there. Just going to be a bit of a stalemate now as neither player will really re-challenge that one. And Zed with that bomb, number 5, making his way on the outside of the map. There's a solid amount of B site control right now. Luca. Good position to be in. The tags are there. Not able to get the kill. The damage has already been dealt though as Kismet now trying to make his way forward. Clay just to the other side of him. There's going to be the kill from Shox, and it's lovely control from Paris Legion in this first round.
And like, okay, so beautiful stuff coming out of Paris. You get the first blood, you make sure you set up the trades, but for some reason, the most interesting part about that round to me was actually the setup that Dallas went with. Instead of having all of your ARs like stack over towards the B side on defense, they literally set up the trap where they had 2 guys in and around water, and we saw Paris try to make sure they get the double challenge out for the trades, and then both Clay and Crim6 posted up with ARs in the back to cover their teammates. Like, it didn't work out because the first bloods didn't go their way because of the Luca flank, but that was an interesting little trap that they try to set up that, well, we're going to have to think about long term.
Heavy A push now from Dallas Empire, and it looks like a great read from the Paris Legion. They have done their homework. Here comes the trades. The shots are going to be there. Dens finds one of his own as the kills look very, very orange right now as Paris Legion answering back. Wonderful stuff. Dallas trying to keep some form of control here. Just an iota of presence there. And now it falls to Crim6. In a matter of seconds, the round is essentially over in a 1 versus 3. He still has a bit of time to work with here. He has a flash grenade to work with. Dead silence activated. Paris watching all possible avenues of attack. Crim goes through. Crim gets cut down. Another great round for Paris Legion.
It's perfect. Perfect stuff. I mean, I was very concerned about the bounce back after the first hard point, but hey, that is 2 beautiful rounds from Paris in a row. And honestly, you talk about strats, pretty much the perfect counter strat, right? You had 2 guys that set up your trains. Like we saw Hook trying to surge forward. The stun completely obliterated the push. And then you had the 2 guys laying under the train tracks, being annoying, playing those weird off angles, and making sure you set up the kills. So that's a counter strat right off the gate from Paris. They have done their homework, and well, they're happy for the early success.
Homework has been done indeed. What have they got now going on the round? It's an aggressive start from Dallas. They've made their way straight towards mid. Can Dens find another opening kill? He cannot. His teammate trays back immediately. Zed wins the battle of the pipes. Shox takes care of the front door there as well. So another great opener from the Paris Legion. Crim now fighting for his life on towards that B bomb site. His fellow assault rifle and armed Clayster bringing the M4s forward. Kismet now trying to make his way in a little closer. He just caught a little tailwind there of a Crim6 now repositioning, and it looks like we're going to see some love towards the A-bomb site from Paris. Great heads-up play. Fantastic decision-making and good judgment. If they can get there fast enough, they can get that bomb down and try to catch these players out from Dallas Empire transitioning across. And again, numbers favoring Paris Legion right now. Clay silence trying to go forward. If the timing is good, and it's not actually Kismet. He does catch him out. The kill comes through. Crim keeps that. Dead silence going, as does Clay. Luca now falls to him. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Can the pinch come through? Lovely shots from Crim. Not able to quite get the kill. Clayster now moving forward as well. Zed, the trap is set and sprung. And now it falls to Crim. 20 seconds left. Can he do the 1 versus 2? There is the first. Crim 6. Trying to find one more here. 14 seconds now left on the clock. Has he got to find the kill? And if he can, he's going to be able to get it. No! The kill comes through for Paris. 3 rounds to nothing. It's looking all right, Chance.
Oh, and there is I guarantee you, a serious amount of profanity coming out on the comms of Dallas Empire right now. All 5 of those kills were someone either laying down or crouched in a corner waiting for Dallas Empire to push past. And I mean literally all 5. Off the rip, it was the double stack up in you. You had Zed playing in the corner at the very end. He was in the boxes earlier. This is very much a stylistic matchup of Paris being the Venus flytrap and being so patient and just letting the kills come to them.
How will Dallas react now? As the Empire making their way in towards B. Very aggressive start. Those angles from Paris Legion. Playing gun run is so strong. Shots, are you going to be able to get that bomb down and in towards B? Here comes the arm. Kismet. No dead silence to work with just yet. Shots coming through. There's Dallas members all around him. Times this right. This could be great. You can see surrounded entirely. Shots. He caught one. Here comes the push. Shoot from up high. Lovely work, Zed, with a bit of friendly fire. Unfortunately, and with that, the round is over. Dallas, they stop the bleeding for now. 3-1.
And that's the first round where Dallas didn't get over aggressive and push deep into the spawn effectively of Paris Legion. That was the only time Paris had been forced to actually engage on the action where they were the guys forced to make the play. Barely got a kill. They even threw a team kill in the mix. It is, again, very much a stylistic matchup of one team very much is willing to play at a snail's pace and be very patient, let the action come to them. And Empire, the question is whether or not they can make the adjustment to figure out how to respond to it. Obviously, in that round, good to go. Got a couple more before they tie things up.
Question now for me is, how deep is Paris playbook? Kismet, absolutely fully aware of where Hook was, despite the fact the smoke was down. Great stuff from him. Another incredible read from Paris Legion to start these rounds off. 2 players in defense in towards B, the remaining 2 looking over towards the A side somewhat. Kismet with the tags, got to watch out. That window to his right-hand side is not bulletproof. He will be in trouble should anyone shoot through that one. Really great position to be in through mid, able to watch these players coming through the center of the map and watch the forest. Ned goes up over the top. Beautiful throw, catches Denz out. Crim finds another kill there on a Zed. So now Paris have slowed down on offense. And the defensive hold from Dallas is paying off for him so far. 40 seconds remaining. So Paris will try to find something here. Crim further bolstering the defenses here towards the site. Kismet brings the MP5 up close and personal. Crim goes down. Now you have an opening. Dallas Empire, remaining 2 players of Shotzi and Clay, now have to make their way forward. Clayster has activated Dead Silence. That stun landed perfectly. Shotzi in a position to maybe find 2. There's a 3rd. If he wants it, Clay's going to get it. No, there it is. Clay's going to jump the bomb, and he will. Plenty of time for the defuse. He's going to let his Dead Silence run out. And get an arm workout in while he can as well. Good round from Empire.
And again, it's very much like a sort of like just Venus flytrap sort of situation. Clay, the happy man to figure out how to make the adjustments, but like literally what we saw for the first blood is Kismet knew that someone was going to be hyper aggressive, fly right up the rip. I think it was Hook. He throws a nade basically at his feet because he knows what's going to happen, gets the free kill for the first blood, and then what happens after that for the round? You had a 2v3 coming in from Shotzi and Clayster towards the end, where it's just someone just gets that hyper aggressive and Paris just not as quick to the punch in these sort of chaotic situations. So it's the playmakers right now that have been on the side of the Empire, but the strategy so far has been going the way of Paris, but it does seem like Empire maybe starting to get an inkling of what this game is going to be like.
For the A push, Paris not as Johnny on the spot with the read this time. Luca does get the opening kill. Can he find a second? Lovely work from Luca to take 2 just before going down. Drags them down. Zed now on the flank. Dead Silence heard loud and clear by Hugh. Finds that kill. Crim finds the angles in the pinch. Can he get shots as well? Nay's going to be up over the top. This is a 2 versus 1. Once again, Crim 6 being the last player left alive. And Paris Legion, another smacking as they go 4-2 now in the search.
And now we're getting an indication of why it's so difficult to go to the A site, right? Like Luka, not only does he get the first blood, but takes 0 damage in that engagement, so he can basically wide challenge out for the next one. He picks up 2, you're good to go. Yes, the Z flank does get shut down. Krim did a very nice job of watching it from back tracks, but either way, that is 2 pushes towards the A site that the Empire have attempted, and they've gotten snuffed out twice. I don't really expect them to necessarily try it again, unless they just want to get some reps in.
Slower this round from Paris, as Legion now hoping to catch another Dallas aggressive push, and Dallas starting to encroach on here towards A. Clay's going to get that first blood onto Luka. Shotzi watching the computer room. That makes Pipes a very, very dangerous place to go. And here it is, dead silence from Shox as Shotzi goes down. Lovely work from the young Australian. Shox finds a kill. Trade still coming through those, 3 versus 4. With their bomb down though, you have a distinct advantage now for Paris. Can they bait these players out? Oh no, Zed just saw Krim a little late. Something have a horror game. Suk now on the hunt. Shox can't get any more this round. He's taken care of it. Falls to Dens in the 1 versus 3. Not a lot of time to work with. And he has to cover those bomb angles. And there's the players all around him. Dens can't even find one of them as Hugh cuts him down. 20 seconds to get the defuse. And what could have been a very, very decisive round. Dens, right place, right time. Not able to execute.
And talk about the key gunfight as well, coming out from Crim 6 towards the middle of the round, I guess, I suppose. Of like, it's one of those things, the reason it's so difficult to sort of retake this site, especially after the bomb gets planted, there is 37 different angles you can check it from. You can look under the trains, and there's so many little nooks and crannies you have to be prepared for. Crim 6 obviously was prepared. There was about an inch, a Legion pigeonhole that he had to shoot through to get that kill, found that success, and it's just one of those moments where you just eliminate that portion of the map, don't got to deal with it, make sure you get the bounce back round, and well, now Empire only down by 1.
Down by 1, the bounce back round, it was a good one. Kismet, once again, first bloods for him have been great. All search and destroy long. Can Shox find any more in mid now as Paris Legion looks to push their advantage? Zed takes care of the pipe side of the map. The player on the flank, Clayster, taken care of by Luka once again. He's been absolutely decisive as Dens finds a kill of his own. So this is a great round from Paris Legion. Shotzi in a world of hurt right now. Illy trying to back him up. Illy's actually managed to make his way into that central courtyard, so it's a chance for him to maybe to get 1 or 2. But again, players all around him. He's going to have to get 2 very decisive kills. And here come the shots. The alarm bells are rung. Paris Legion, it's almost a perfect round, and that's going to be map point. 5-3. Here we go, Chance.
Here we go. 1 round away. Get that dub, get that bounce back, and again, make up for the 250 to 73 or whatever it was lost they took in map 1. And that round for me goes to Kismet. I think a couple rounds before we saw Hook get up to that little jump spot. Kismet heard him in that round who was laying behind Crate. So he says, hey, I think Hook is going to do the same thing again. Let's make sure we wide challenge out, be nice and aggressive down that dirt path, take down Hook, and we'll be good to go. So that is like the 4th or 5th perfect counter strat we've seen coming out of Paris.
Can Paris prove these casters wrong with their 3-0 predictions and try to swing this series around? Dens lands 1 with a stun. Shox finds that opening kill. Once again, the first bloods for Paris Legion have been great. Shotzi just trying to catch somebody through this tiny crack of the door. He may let in more than a bit of a draft with this play, but he's got to make this one count. Hugh, though, through the smoke, no dead silence. He's just slipped through 1 player. And he's going to crouch walk to be as quiet as he possibly can. Bomb making its way over towards B. Oh, Hugh may have put himself in a winning position here. Check every corner. Very methodical, very meticulous. First kill lands. Pops the dead silence immediately. Now he can maneuver essentially freely. Kismet with a huge win. Keeps the bomb site alive and well. 2 versus 2 now. Bomb goes down. This is for the map for Paris. Position. Kismet trying to find something. Pops the door. Hugh's going to get the hip fire. Hugh has been absolutely lights out this round. Dens gets the first kill. Makes it a 1 versus 1. Polar opposites in the stats in the first hard point, but now it is just about been corrected. Paris Legion get it done 6-3. 2 players who could not have looked any different in the hard point. Now in the search, the 1v1 comes to a close, and Dens gets it done for Paris.
That was just gorgeous stuff towards the end. I mean, that was, again, 3-4, something like that. Just perfect counter strats coming out of Paris in different rounds. Then he got the Dens clutch towards the end. And that is the bounce back because, again, I was demoralized after watching that map number 1. I can't imagine what it was like to play in that hard point, but whatever advice was said to these guys, whoever was the calming voice for the team said, hey, a 252-49 loss is the exact same as getting blown out by 100 or whatever, 200, how many points it was? 180, something like that. A loss is a loss. Let's bounce back, get the dub for the map number 2, and then we'll be in a potentially fine spot. So Paris, they got fight in them. They're fighting for these CDL points as well. And frankly, I'm just happy we got a series on our hands.
We got a series. I mean, our predictions are completely out of whack now. This is obviously looking like a bit more of an interesting series. And again, as you can see on your screen, the third third straight map win in a row on the Gunrunner Search and Destroy for Paris Legion. So congratulations to them. Let's have a look at our US Army tactical play. This was an absolutely pristine, perfect round 8 for Paris Legion chance. And again, for them to bring the bounce back here after what was a disgusting hard point, incredible stuff from the Parisian team.
In round 8, off memory, not a clue what went down in this round, but I have to imagine it was a similar story to what we saw from so many rounds from Paris, where they basically just had some sort of trap set. Like, it wasn't necessarily guys like being forced out to make some hero plays, but just double stack up on defense over towards the train tracks, make sure you win those gunfights, whatever sort of double stack is gonna be necessary. Hang out, play your corners, let the kills come to you, and it just makes this game that much easier.
Much easier there for Paris Legion. And again, after what was looking like a bad start to this series, they've managed to turn this one around. When we come back after the break, Domination, the exciting map 3 in this series. Only the first series here at the London Royal Ravens home series. Don't go anywhere. Stay comfortable. We'll be right back.
From Paris, France, this is the Legion.
They're firing together as a unit. There's just a wall of bullets there from the Paris Legion as they will hold the line.
Stand with the cluster! Luca with the challenge!
The third in a row for Paris! This could not have been a better setup now for the French. I love it.
Kismet is on fire.
He's in a great position. Shox has got 2! Paris have just gone and stole another round.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Rule your day with the #1 brand in prepaid. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The United States Air Force. Learn more at airforce.com. This is your Scuff Team of the Week. a super team built with 5 of the top performers at the most recent event. This week, we're picking 5 players from the New York home series. First, it's Cammy of the Toronto Ultra. The Toronto Ultra had a decent showing in the New York home series, finishing top 4 after being eliminated by the home team themselves. Cammy had a solid weekend of play in both the respawns and search and destroys. He racked up some of the highest average kills in hardpoint and earned the highest S&D KD of the entire event. Cammy averaged almost 9 kills a game, with multiple maps where he hit double digits. His best S&D performance was versus the Atlanta FaZe, when Cammy went 23-9 across 2 S&D maps, an impressive feat versus one of the best S&D teams in the league. Next, it's aBeZy. This tiny terror had some of the best day 1 and best day 2 stats out of any player in the New York home series. aBeZy had the highest overall KD of the event, even leading the field in average hardpoint and domination kills. aBeZy also showed us his trademark aggression in the S&D, scoring the second most first bloods of any player, and racking up the second highest S&D body count of the tournament. aBeZy's standout series came in Atlanta FaZe's match versus the Paris Legion, when aBeZy dropped a massive 1.76 for a total series KD of 81 to 46. It's finally Temp season. Temp finally won the first chip of his career when the New York Subliners took down their own home event. Temp played a solid game all around, earning himself the 9th highest overall KD by event's end. Temp's impact was perhaps felt most in the domination, where he was a top performer in both total kills scored and total damage dealt. Temp's standout domination performance came in Game 3 of the finals, where he went 27-14 versus the Chicago Huntsmen, just shy of a clean 2.0 KD. Return of the Mac. This is Mac's 4th appearance on Scuff Team of the Week, an impressive feat considering he's only competed in 5 events. Ever since this young rookie joined the New York squad, the Subliners have skyrocketed in both in-game performance and average tournament placings. Mac has been crushing the stats since his debut event, and this event was no different. On his path to his first chip, Mac racked up the highest average hill time of the entire weekend, all while scoring the 3rd highest KD of the event. You see that, Call of Duty world? You don't have to go triple negative when you play the objective. Finally, it's Attach. It's been a minute since this world champion has tasted victory. Attach was a standout player for the Subliners all weekend long, putting up big numbers and making clutch plays in every game mode. In Search and Destroy, he and his longtime duo Zuma scored first blood a combined 24 times, almost half of all the S&D rounds they played. In the hardpoints, Attach slayed out, earning himself the highest hardpoint KD of the entire event. Attach's best performances came in New York's semi-final match versus the Toronto Ultra, when Attach opened the series with a monstrous 30 and 22 hardpoint score before ending the series with a staggering 1.56 KD. That's your New York home series Scuff Team of the Week.
That was your Scuff Gaming Team of the Week, an educational experience for all. We welcome you back to the London Royal Ravens home series. Day 1, baby. We're only in the first series, and we're very, very excited to basically get straight into the domination on Gunrunner. Tied up 1-1 in the series after the most one-sided affair we saw on the Ramaza hardpoint. The Gunrunner search for map number 2 went the way of Paris, but Dallas Empire versus the Paris Legion so far squaring up to be a much more interesting series than any of us had anticipated. Now, Chance, we get in this one, my mate. What do we think's going to happen?
Well, okay, so it's actually interesting because Paris, this is like the best map possible, best situation really possible for them going into the domination. 7-4 in Gunrunner, they love this map. We just saw an element of that in the Search and Destroy as well. But just to take a back step from the series, I just realized, and I know this is only our second week like casting together, that like 90% of my job is not actually like analyzing or talking about Call of Duty. It's like censoring you and make sure you don't say anything that's too far. That way I don't have to go to like duo number 3 and like the past 3 weeks, whatever it's been. So Miles, again, just run any of your comments through me beforehand. We'll try to keep everything fair and balanced.
I will, mate. I will. I'll be asking you lots more questions. I've only been introduced to a lot of music recently, and it's been a learning curve and a very, very steep one at that.
Yeah, but Soldier Boy, not the best place to start for broadcast.
I just thought it sounded cool. But here we go. Into the domination we go. A flag in the hands of Paris Legion. C goes the way of Dallas Empire in B. Well, we'll see who can get their hands around that pole in just a moment. Shock's trying to make his way forward. Zed's backing him up as he's trying to lead the charge. The kill's going the way of Paris for now, but no one's quite brave enough to go for it. I mean, Crim, he found a bit of a trade there. The kill's coming through. Zed finds the opening, can't quite get the kills, but Shotzi, the team fire comes through in B flag still. Not quite in anyone's hands just yet. Dallas, though, you've got the kills, you've got the space to work with, now it's yours.
Yeah, now you got Crim6 potentially going for spawn kills. The snap-on Dens is on point. Now Paris have to be very concerned about where Crim6 is. More importantly, got to be concerned about a lot of things. You got Illy posted up in the prime position. Jujutsu are running the numbers up. There's the first kill, potentially of many. This is looking like shades of the Ramaza.
Oh, shades of Ramaza. I mean, that could be a very sort of strange jazz album chance, but I'm going to let that one slide for now. But in we go now. About time for a Astro Gaming listen-in with the Dallas Empire.
Back on me, Dad. Yo, back first.
One shot on C, one shot on C, they have a trophy. We should be able to cap A, guys.
Yeah, cap A.
Nice, guys.
One's locker.
I'm C.
Yeah, make sure I get my half full.
I'm coming B with you, I'm coming B with you. Porter, I have a trophy for you.
Let me go and see. Hey, guys.
He's
Yo,
going
yeah,
down.
he's A. Drive
Hey, guys.
He's in
Three,
locker.
my trophy's already dead, yo. Yo,
Yeah.
flank me, boxes,
On B,
boxes.
on B.
Nerd.
Another one on B, another one on B.
One's a nerd. Under, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna take quick.
That's on B.
Let me green.
Go C, go C, go
I
C.
need over.
Green dead. Green dead.
Doing that.
Left cart. Left cart.
Go see.
Left side.
Go
Left
see.
side, one side.
I'm gonna nade him. Bathroom.
I'm mobbing you.
Yeah.
Oh, he's stuck. P3.
On the minecart.
I'm named P3. I'm named P3.
He's on the minecart, right minecart.
Mid-map, one shot,
One
One bathroom, one shot. He's bathroom, one bullet.
One shot on the minecart.
Got him.
One went back to white. You went back to white. You went back to white.
Yo, he's white. He's
White,
you.
white.
Lucas, you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make it.
Lucas, you.
I got one
Lucas,
on
you.
B, I got
Gonna be
one on
piped.
B.
Lucas gonna be piped for half ball.
Alright. I'm one shot there.
Jump out on him. No, he's on me.
That's three.
I'm
You
looking
can cap
at
B.
B.
You can cap B.
Back right.
Push our lockers.
Push it.
Push our lockers, Ant.
Hold A off spawn. I'm gonna hold A too.
Locker right now, Luca.
Two lockers.
Two lockers.
I'm nading through.
Two weak lockers. Two weak lockers. He's neutral.
I needed it.
One pipes, one shot. One on
Push
A.
up.
I got one.
Pipes, one shot. Zed. One in back minecart. Den's one shot.
Shades of Ramaza, it is not quite yet chance. Paris Legion keeping themselves in this one. We heard Dallas's comms. You know, things are a little messy. Illy with a lovely snap, though, as Dallas managed to get themselves B. A flag's going to go back into the hands of Paris for a moment. Are they going to complete it? No, the kill comes through. So, C flag. A flag's going to be made safe there. As Dallas Empire, they can breathe a sigh of relief. Try to get that map control back.
And right now, Illy has been a force. He is unkillable when it comes to the straight-up 1v1 gunfights. He's not going to lose any of those anytime soon. And frankly, prime position for this young man to be in right now. He just gets to slay. He's roughly around the power position he wants to be. And frankly, he just has to play around his teammates. They're busy killing everything in sight over towards the C flag. So Illy just wants to keep things on lockdown because Clay is the man keeping the track set. He is responsible for the overextension and watching the middle map push. If one guy can do all of that, that means Illy potentially can thrive over towards that B flag.
I mean, you said just a moment ago, like, hey, he wins the 1v1s, like, he came pretty close to the 1v2 as well, and that was a straight-up fight. Still, Paris Legion desperately trying to battle on the final minute 20 of this first half to get onto that B flag and do what they can. Again, the story of this map is it's going to be a tough one. Unless Paris can do what they can to hold on, this final minute would be ideal. Look for the counter-attack now from Dallas, the 1v1 gunfight, won up front by Kismet. Trying to make this B flag look as safe as they possibly can. Shox unable to win the fight there in mid. Luca now trying to get C. No, Clayster is going to cut him down. Dallas Empire, the counter-attack is on, and it's very, very strong so far.
Hey, now you got Crim6 on the flip side, by the way, just being the lone man protecting A, and he's bought enough time that even Illy's back for the help. And, well, there's Illy in the feed, picking up a couple kills, able to take two down, and Zed's going, what's going on, guys? Like, we just had everybody here. It was only one guy trying to slow us down, and, well, now you're able to get the neutralization on the A flag just to try to slow that pace down. But Empire, frankly, they made the perfect call just a few moments ago going for that C flag.
Crim's just ripping people right now. Not able to get too much more out of this nice wall bang on a Shox. Crim 6, 4 kills in a row, 11 and 9 overall. Final 20 seconds going to be going the way of Dallas Empire, and they've just pulled ahead just enough, I feel. Crim! In the final moments of this map, Kismet's going to be able to get a little bit of love towards the A flag unless Illy catches him, and he will. Dallas Empire have managed to thwart Paris Legion at pretty much every opportunity they've had here, but the scoreline's still, chance, very doable for Paris going into this second half. For Dallas now, put the search and destroy behind you and try to close this map out. Get yourselves off a gun runner.
I mean, the issue right now for Paris is just like the decision making from Empire has just been on point. Like the moment where like we saw Paris get to the B flag, Zed got in prime position down towards the tracks, and Paris had the full setup. Dallas went and responded, and they said, well, hey, wait a minute. If everyone's going to be stacked up to B, we know there's at least 3 or 4 players over there. Let's not even bother. Let's just send every single player except for one over towards the C flag to go for the push on that break. And it's very difficult on this map to decide when to go for the B flag, when to go for the enemy's home flag. But Empire right now, every opportunity they have to make the perfect play call, they just do. And on top of that, they have been slaying like crazy.
17-6 really. Some crazy slays so far. I mean, the movement is just unparalleled right now. Slips his way forward, finds the angles, cut down eventually. Shotzzy, the same thing can be said about him. Lovely 2-piece for his name, and that's going to be B flag basically secured. Watch him push that front line out. Great awareness, fantastic timing, and Shotzzy, absurd level of skill. That's intuition right there. 12 and 8 for him. That's his 3rd kill in a row, making sure that that B flag is safe and secure and in the hands of the Empire.
And just watching Shotzzy play, like on his perspective, like the snap and re-snap for the 2 different gunfights he had to win, like it's almost perfect. Like even there where he loses the fight, like the sliding is perfect, the centering is perfect, like the reaction time as good as it gets. Like watching him play, it just, there's just like that little bit of extra he seems to be able to bring to the table. But you talk about the extra, you talk about the bounce back Paris just had. The A flag right now, Kismet is trying to put a ton of pressure because he knows his teammates are going to be good to secure the C and B flag. So hey, right now, down by 30 points. If you're going to bounce back, this is the prime position for Paris to be in.
Already down by 20 odd points, so this could work out. Paris have got to hold this though, and you have to contend with the might of Shotzzy leading the charge. Trying to find these kills. Good timing again from Shox. He's getting a little bit of help from his friend Zed, trying to make mid-map safe. Guards catch Illy. This is nice looks from Paris Legion. Luca trying to take care of C flag, but again, Crim 6, the numbers there just working out from Clay was there as well. Den's now straight off spawn. The spawns are all over the place right now, as you can see. For Paris Legion spawning top right-hand side of the map, they're going to be coming in towards C now any moment. They're going to try and get the grab. Not a great look at, again, got to make C neutral. They've managed to hold the line at B for now, so Paris not out of this yet. Hukanili, though, from behind, and it's just, I don't know, man, I just want to scream long live the Empire at some point. But Dallas, they're slaying their hearts out right now, and they're making a real mockery here on Gunrunner.
Yeah, I mean, long live the Empire, and then Illy especially, right? Just, again, 20 kills he's been able to throw up on the board so far. He's been feasting, and he's been pretty consistently just finding himself in that, like, main Slayer role where he can kind of roam around the map and just look for kills. Of course, now, though, Paris still in a good, well, not a great spot. They're running out of time, still down by 30 points, but they had 2 flags, and that's the important thing, and you got Kismet trying to make the play over towards C. I imagine he's going to get killed very quickly, but at the very least, that means Paris have enough pressure in and around the map that they can still hold this 2 flag setup.
2 minutes 15 left. Got to hold that 2 flag setup. Zed on patrol, trying to catch it, and these pushes from Dallas Empire. Here we go. Luca, nice nade from Illy. A blessed nade over the top. Illy finds another one. He's been absurd as he keeps the kills going. Shox finds a nice 2 to just get back on the B flag. They have to make the flags, you know, Paris Legions again. It was made neutral there by Dallas. Shox finds a 3rd as he keeps the capture going. Kismet now, good timing. Can he catch these players out? Beautiful shots from Kismet. Straight on the C he goes. Gonna take a little bit of time to get it done on the neutrals. Teammates were there to back him up, but Shotzzy cuts them both down. The neutral still comes through though, so this is not bad from Paris Legion. Dallas gets C back, start to get some points now on the counter-attack. Will they be able to catch Paris slipping, or will we be seeing a hold here for the Paris Legion?
Well, right now, Paris Legion, they're going to have to get that B flag back as quickly as possible, and really just in the next 10-15 seconds, because every single moment, every tick that goes by where Dallas is able to keep this flag neutral is a massive advantage. You can get 12 points in a minute if you have 2 flags to 1. That's what Paris is getting ready to secure with the AB setup, and they're down by 16, so they're going to need a little bit extra. Someone need maybe Kismet to make that big play, get that neutral over towards C just for a few ticks. That's what Paris needs to try to win this game.
Honestly, Kismet's on it. Doesn't have their silence to work with. It looks like his teammates are here to back him up as well. Shotzzy and Clay find the kills. Still got that 1 player alive there on towards the C flag. It's going to be Zed. Meanwhile, at A, Shox is trying to win this big gunfight, and if he can, and he does, now you got to get the A flag back. You're going to keep that C flag over towards neutral. Nah, it's not. Dallas to spawn there. They're all good. And this is very, very back and forth chance. It's going to come down to the wire, but you have to see a neutral at C if you've got any hope here for a win for Paris.
Yeah, they just need a little bit more, and right now, Shox is by himself, right? He can't get over towards the flag, but you see the setup from Empire. They are very ready for this, and Clayster just behind the wall. Doesn't even need to be the man. Illy comes out from showers, and then you got number 6, Shotzzy on the B flag. Now it's a situation where you need the triple cap, and you need it 15 or 20 seconds ago. Empire just annoying enough towards the end to not give Paris any of that wiggle room, and make sure that not a comfortable, not necessarily the most confident or dominating game in the world, but the Empire, they got the job done.
They get the job done. 160 to 148. Paris Legion nipping at the heels for most of the game, but in the end, the Emperor protects, and Dallas, they're going to get themselves a lead here in the series, 2-1. Paris now, scary position to be in, Chance. We've got a hard point coming up after this one, and if the first map was anything to go off of, God only knows how this one ends. But alas, we've seen crazy things happen here in the Call of Duty League. Paris Legion, this is a very, very difficult series ahead of them. I know there's a lot of Australian fans watching from back home. G'day, friends. I hope you're doing very, very well. I understand it is extremely early for you, but there you see the stats on your screen, and Illy certainly put up a performance there. 26 and 15. Shotzzy with the 10 flag grabs as well. So you look at the flag grabs there across the board. Chance to be Dallas. Great map control, great awareness, solid decision making all round.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, it can't be possibly understated. Paris was putting in work, making a lot of those nitty-gritty, annoying plays. Kismet picking up 2, getting the neutral on the C flag for a couple moments. Like, Paris was putting in work in that regard. Unfortunately, the slaying power, man, it is just, like, it's not that it's not there for Paris, but it is absolutely there for the side of the Empire. Same thing in map 1, where they outslayed by, it had to have been 40-something kills. It was absurd. Even here, a little bit less so, but you're still going plus 15, maybe plus 20 in the kills column. It's difficult to lose games when you're outslaying by that much, and especially when you're as clean and well orchestrated as a team as the Empire is. So for this map 4, it's not going to be easy, but Paris, they're just going to have to find a way to crank it up and get a lot more kills.
They do have to, and that has already been the deciding factor in this series. It's been the slaying power. Dallas are all over the map, dealing an incredible amount of damage, and with that, let's take a trip down memory lane, have a look at the first hardpoint map. We've got the PlayStation 4 damage dealt score here, and this was Shotzzy. Shotzzy was your guy. He really put up an incredible amount of damage from that first hardpoint map. Again, shades of Ramaza. This was one of the other painters doing most of the work there at 2,944 damage alone. Clay putting up a ton as well. Illy also put up a ton. Hugh put up a lot of damage as well. It was a fantastic effort across the board. Dallas just ran it. I'm not sure if we're ever going to see a Ramaza quite like that, mate. In the history of the Call of Duty League.
No, you know, never say never, but it is going to be a rarity for sure. It was a pretty absurd performance, and I will say, like, coming into this match, right? A couple big things are like the meta shift. Obviously, you get an extra AR thrown in the mix. It slows the pace down at least a little bit, right? Less engagements than you're usually going to see, and it's kind of curious as to whether or not that'll benefit Paris more, who's already a very slow team, or Dallas, who can kind of like meld themselves in whatever mode they want. And I was kind of thinking, right? Dallas has the advantage. We know that they've been the better team on the year, but going against Paris, who are very, very slow in their play style, to me it was a question of like, who's going to perform better? Is it going to be the 3 kids that play at the freak of nature pace for Dallas Empire and are just going to be able to kind of run them over, or is it because of the slower play style, it's going to be tough for them, and then Clay or Crim6 are going to be like, oh, we're back to like 2015, like this is like Call of Duty for us, like I love this pace, my hands are not nearly as cramped as they used to be, and maybe they were going to thrive. Turns out it's all of the above, right? It's everyone across the board for Empire right now. Again, not in the search and destroy, but at least in the respawns, they've just been on point and seem to be very comfortable with where they are.
Comfortable is definitely a way of looking at it. I mean, it's been open and shut in terms of the sheer dominance, but let's see if they can keep this one going. We have another hard point coming up in just a moment. We'll be on St. Petrograd. Possibly the last map in the series here for Paris Legion, unless they can turn things around. We've seen mixed success and a couple of nice results for them here on the map. But against a squad like Dallas Empire, in the form they're currently looking now, on this new meta, this could be the end of the road for Paris. Charles, what do you honestly think here, man? You think this could go the way? This could go the distance? Game 5?
No, Paris is 0-5 on this map. Dallas Empire 4-4, and I think just to take it a step further, I don't know if we've even casted a St. Petro hardpoint. I think this is our first time together, and we haven't seen a ton of St. Petro. You got the new meta, you got the extra ARs. In my imagination, well, the double nade was great from Shotzi, but my imagination is the Empire are going to be on point with the nitty-gritty, the detail-oriented work of what guns, what setups we're going to use for every single hill. I just think that the Empire are going to be in a little bit better spot, especially with the slaying power they've been able to throw up on the board.
Yeah, it also helps that they've managed to win 3 of these in a row. So let's see if they can make it number 4 here against Paris Legion. The early contest come through, trying to push for spawns towards that right-hand side of the map. That's where the cafe will be. And it looks like number 6, Shotzi. And he's taking the scenic route. He's enjoying this one, so he makes his way all the way to the back. That may be the dagger. Shotzi has just made the play while the back rages on the hard point. His teammates have got it. Shotzi's finding kills as well. This could be devastating. No, Paris have managed to sniff him out and take care of him. Cute now trying to pick up the pieces. Fallen comrade now lays. Paris setting up for the Maginot Line defense here as they're gearing up for a very, very solid push now working out from Dallas Empire. First hard point not that profitable. Again, 39 and climbing. For Dallas Empire could have been a lot worse, so props to Paris for keeping it as close as they possibly could there. Now they gear up for the next. Clay lined out with the M4.
Denzel is able to take him down, so Paris has been able to stave off maybe a couple attacks. Now you actually have 3 players right now for Empire who off-spawn. Instead of just forcing it down, they're actually wrapping it back to try to cut through mid. So Empire taking their time to set up to try to make the break, but they are getting decimated on the way to this hill. Paris have at least started to turn up here on this P2 hill, and frankly, I mean, the work is fairly clean. Light, 30 seconds left. Empire, the first time they've been able to contest, and well, maybe the first time is all they need. Hook already through.
One and done, man. Like, it was one contest, one break. It didn't even last very long. The next 20 seconds could well be all Empires. Den's cut down there. You saw the X-ray just the other of that fence before it could even get towards the tables. He was done. File 10. Before you know it, there'll be another hard point. And Dallas starting to walk away with this one ever so slightly. Shock's trying to cut these players down in mid as they make their way across the far left-hand side of the map. It's going to be the Hazmat building. Almost a 2 there for Kismet. But again, just trying to slow down the members of the Dallas Empire. Paris Legion will be spawning much closer to the hard point. So they're happy to let those kills go the way of mid. And now the push through Water Street. Shotzi getting the party started. He managed to slip right on through and find that one kill. It's not a fantastic trade there, so you can see him lying prone at the hard point. Now awaiting the push from Dallas.
And already Dallas, I mean, what, 20, 25 seconds have gone by on this first hill. May have not been able to encroach on the point at all. Maybe one player is like started to creep their way through, but frankly, they've been able to get nothing in Empire. 25 seconds left. I don't even know how much you really want to push for this time. You might need to just go ahead and chalk it up and rotate the pool. This was the perfect hold coming in for the Paris Legion, who now are going to take a lead. This is the first time I think they've had a lead in a respawn this entire series.
It is Johnson. For how long? 3 members are going to be holding mid-map again, expecting the rotation through to Paul Hall now. Luca's going to find a couple more kills in mid-shots. He cuts him down. But again, when it comes to making the rotation from Hazmat building all the way to the other side of the map in Pool Hall, you need to give yourself about 20 to 30 seconds. It's a long and painful walk, especially when Dallas have got their M4 up and they're looking right down the center of the map. Illy now on Paul, going to find the time here, propped up on top of that table. Incredibly sturdy for a single leg, but hey, there you go. Dead silence not going to be too necessary, as his teammates are going to cut those players down from the outside. Illy, he'd be first up should they manage to make their way through, and no one's getting past you right now. Brilliant timing from the young
kills really from both
Dallas
teams.
now
Has
taking
been
the lead.
the most gunfights we've ever seen away from the hard point. Illy has shot at a corpse, and I think that's the only thing he's had to do. And of course for Paris, the same thing can be said at the old hill, but the good news is the one time they actually get to the hill, it's the same story. It's the one and done. You get in, you get the break, you get the contest, at least for the moment, and you're able to just chip away at that time. So it's those little plays that potentially can go a very long way for Paris, who had a very nice, at least almost hill and a half in the past 2.
To the restaurant we go. Illy in, his orders up. Shotzi takes the takes some shocks there to clean it up. He's doing climbing now.
Yeah, he accidentally got that second kill.
Thing is huge once again. Devastation here, or you can go in that back door. And what I mean, Hugh is everywhere. He is everywhere. kills in a row, 15 and 10 for him. Paris not been able to get even close to the restaurant. Social distancing aside, they're having to eat outdoors like the rest of us, and he finally goes down. Unreal stuff. Paris finally managed to get the break towards the end, but it's a 10 seconds. I mean, it's a consolation award at this point in time. Over we go to our next set chance, and Paris have managed to get the first foothold, but for how long can they hold it? With the breaks from Dallas looking so good.
Zed able to find the one kill. Luca's got to be in prime position right now inside the hill, and his teammates laying out in front of him. Nice little 2-screen. Zed maybe starting to heat up just a little bit. Can't find number 3, but now the AR's posted up in the hill. They know exactly where to look. And right now, Paris, they already had a success. P2 the first go around. As long as they can just keep the pressure from Empire away, maybe they'll be good to go. Or Empire is going to spawn over towards P2 because Paris got way too aggressive and they still have not figured it out. Finally, as Zed spawns up, Paris go, oh crap, guys, we messed up. This is great for the time on the first kill, but this rotation is going to be tough.
Smoke's coming through from Dallas and try to cover the approach. And Kismet, no. I was going to say, maybe he snuck through that, maybe? But the defensive line now for Dallas, that mini-map, no one from Paris really able to make their way forward. Trying to find these angles through mid-map, trying to find the angles to the old hard points, trying to encroach upon that next cafe, but not easy to do whatsoever. Illy from top blue, the off here, can't get the second kill in a row. Clayster lined up with an M4, sorry, excuse me, as he just finds those easy kills at range with that powerful weapon. Dens eats an entire cluster nade. EOD saves him for now chance, but we're seeing the trades, these hardpoint trades come back time and time again. Now for Paris, it's a good look going in a hazmat where they can get themselves another 40, 50 seconds. And already number 4, Dens is like, yeah, I'm going to hold him back. I'm going to try to make sure no one does get through. We're just going to get a ton of hardpoint time on the next one. Oh, he's dead.
Oh, this might be Rodmatic. Just long term, you got to the Empire. Yeah, Zed doesn't even win the gunfight. Now the foot race. Empire have what? Maybe 3. It's effectively a 3v3 on the flip side. Illy gets taken down, so that is a massive gunfight for Kismet to win. But this is moment of the game right now for Paris. They need this hold to stay alive and stay in it. And Empire, of course, that means, hey, you get the one break, you chip away a little bit of time, the game should be yours.
They're playing it smart. They're trying to hold the hard point while keeping that mid-map presence, so they've got an escape avenue at least to manage to get themselves towards the next one. Number 3 is about to run into a whole world of shots once again. It seems to be his job right now to close out that mid-map as Kismet continues to slay the Reaper right now on Petrograd as he gets those kills up close and personal. Zed with a delightful 2. Is there a third to be had? No. Clay with the M4. Too strong. And number 3, Shox has slipped through. Shox has made it to the next hard point 30 seconds early, trying to make sure it's safe. Can his teammates hold the line? Can Paris Legion hold Hazmat for the duration of this 25 seconds? This would be huge. There is a battle now raging at the front, but the winning of the game, the end game, is going to be on Shox. Kismet making his way forward as well, not able to get much done. Number 3 on the minimap, trying to win this battle in onside pool. He finds 1. Can Shox stay alive? He can't. That's massive now from Zed to get in there, find something here. This could be it for the map once again, Chance. Oh, Dallas may have done it. They got the numbers, Chance. They got it.
I mean, not job done yet, right? Paris were able to break through the last time around. It's just they're in a similar situation. 30 seconds left. Empire get the win. There's 50 on the clock. You got to make sure for 20 seconds Dallas is either out or you are in this hill. The smokes are there. Illy from the flank there was able to find the first.
Oh, Illy finds 2, 3 for Illy. He could find a 4th if he can get that mag back into the MP5. Illy, you are a savage. You are a monster. I cannot believe what we are seeing. 4 in a row. That could well be the map. He knows where the spawners are coming from. Illy is disgusting right now. 5, 6. He's still alive. Illy, this is absurd from the young man. You can nade himself right now because he's going to be the only person that can bring himself down at this point in time. 7 and 8. Dallas Empire with Illy at the helm. Unbelievable stuff.
Absolutely right. Play the game, run it back. There's the first. There was a smoke there. That's why it took him an extra second. The 3rd is clean. The reload for the 4th, and then he ran it up after that. Nice little quad kill to throw off for the final kill cam to end the game. And Illy able to throw out 24 beans on the board with 1:42 in the hill. Empire, it got spicy because we saw that the play was getting set up from Shox. They had the Hazmat hill. They got a guy behind enemy lines, and I will say Empire, I don't know who it was, but Johnny on the spot. Crimsix spent 20 seconds going back, checking every nook and cranny around the pool hall. They knew Shox got behind. They kept track of the players, the communication from Empire on point. Even though Shox was able to take down Krim, obviously he didn't take down Illy, who was the massive thorn all series long.
Oh my word. What a finishing moment there for the Dallas Empire. A very well fought and hard earned 3-1 there. Wasn't able to get it done in the search. It could have been a 3-0, but it's amazing to think. I mean, Illy only went 24 and 17. A ton of hard point time across the board for almost everyone outside of Clay and Hugh, but man, a very well-rounded, very dangerous-looking Dallas Empire here at the London Royal Ravens home series. For Paris, though, I mean, 206 to 250 against a squad that looks that, dominant at times. Like this is a reformed Paris Legion. My only concern is a loss like that, particularly the Ramaza. I mean, that's a hit to the ego. Can they go into the next series again, a knockout match now? They're in their final chance here in the home series. Can they go into that next series with enough, vigor and enough, belief in themselves, enough wind in the sail to keep themselves in the tournament? Because all things considered, chance like that wasn't bad from Paris whatsoever.
No, I agreed, right? Like, it would have been incredibly nice for them to get the big win type deal, but the expectation was for Paris to not be able to win this series because Dallas is making an argument potentially for being the best team in the game, or at least that's what they're fighting to have that title. So for Paris, they're thinking of like, we need to make sure we get some CDL points. If we can't get them against Empire, it'll be against whomever else. And they're, of course, just trying to make sure that they are prepped and ready to go for a champs. And we definitely saw a lot of good stuff. Like, they had the opportunities in the hard point, at least the Petrograd, not so much the first one. And then their S&D was on point, and even the domination, right? They're getting outslayed by 20 kills, whatever it was, and they're still keeping it within a 10-point game. Like, yes, Paris have been consistently losing, but they're keeping the games close. They just need to find a way to get that little bit of something extra.
Yeah, a little bit of something extra indeed. Well, that little bit of something extra, we have it. It's our scuff player of the game, and it was Illy. The final few moments of that hard point, after the hard point made safe there by Crim6, taking care of Shox, Illy was unleashed upon Paris Legion. The players trying to make the entry kills, trying to break the hard point, and chance, it simply was not happening. These final few moments from Illy, what a spree this really was to close the map out.
And just making it look easy as well, right? Like, just clean every single gunfight, the reload perfect, dip behind cover, get a couple kills, and he's like, what do I do? Hang out inside the hill? No, my teammates got that. I'll push out back. I know where they're gonna, like, it's just everything. Everything from top to bottom. And again, not just the individual plays, but I have to imagine the communication was as clean as it could possibly be from every member of the Empire, because again, they made the read on Shox sneaking around back. They had the comms for the call-outs where the spawns were gonna be, so Illy knows where to look. Like, everything towards the end, that final 30-45 second stretch from the Empire, perfection.
Yeah, true perfection. In whether they were looking at him or not, the timing could not have been better from Illy there. Brilliant start to the day. Dallas Empire 3-1 here at the London Royal Ravens home series. Whew. Coming up next, we do have our Game Fuel marquee matchup. Again, I know the British fans are looking forward to this one. I certainly am. Royal Ravens going up against Surge. And again, OpTic Gaming Mutineers a little bit later on today. And of course, Subliners, our reigning champs, going up against the Los Angeles Guerrillas a little bit later on today as well. A full, fun day of Call of Duty here at the London Royal Ravens home series. This is your Friday schedule brought to you by the US Army. And again, that Game Fuel marquee matchup coming up next. The Seattle Surge going up against the London Royal Ravens. Chance, I mean, dude, I'm getting a lot of tweets at the moment. I've seen a lot of comments on the Reddit that we're all sleeping on Seattle Surge right now. Again, meta change probably helping him out a little bit. Again, Octane looking to see him fry things through with that one of the greatest ARs we can see in the league right now. Do you believe that there is a real turning moment here for Seattle Surge? Better late than never, I suppose, to really get involved in the CDL.
I don't necessarily believe that there will be, but I absolutely do believe that there can be, right? Like, Seattle, yes, it's been a rough year, but they have shown a couple moments since they started making roster changes of like a ton of potential. And I don't know. The London Royal Ravens is not an easy match to like have to kick off like the new squad with in the new meta, but there's a little bit of potential there, right? It's not like you're getting fed to the Empire type deal like first thing off the gate. So it's the ultimate test. You could definitely run with the storyline of like, MP5 got nerfed, that means the ARs get better, and then you think about it for a second, you're like, wait, Octane gets better? Like, what does that look like type thing? So there's a lot of potential, and this is one of those teams that they have the opportunity to really spice things up on the bottom side of that CDL point standings, right? They only got 50. They got 2 tournaments left. They could start making a run because they are 20 points behind the team that is in 8th place. You just make it to the semifinals, you're already good enough to be tied up, so there's a ton of potential potential for these guys to make some magic happen.
Imagine a run this late into the season, like just to go from absolute rags to riches and put themselves in a great position to make a run at champs. I mean, that's what this is all about right now for these teams. And again, Seattle Surge have 2 events left to make some noise and potentially make that run. Again, a lot has to work out for them. It's like the group stages of the World Cup. The British fans know what I'm talking about here. You're watching it like, oh, if they beat them, or if these guys beat them, then England get through. You know, heartbreak for many years of my life so far. But again, at the end of the day, there's a chance here for this squad to make a run. They do have to go up against our home series, I say hosts, London Royal Ravens, who again typically beat the teams who are beneath them and struggle somewhat against those upper echelon squads. But alas, we have yet to see them on this new meta, see how they can rock and roll. Very, very excited to see how this one goes. Chance, mate, 3-1, Empire, get it done. And what a fun series it really, really was. It is about time now for a quick break. When we come back after the break, Chance, I believe we have our PlayStation Instant Reaction. Very, very excited to see how that one all goes down. But what a day, what a weekend this has been. Plenty more Call of Duty League action coming your way. It's going to be Lando